Hi there. My name is Eve Markham Atkinson. I am treasurer here at the Unitarian Fellowship of Huntington, West Virginia. I'm currently out back of our fellowship hall and wanted to show you some things. About 5 years ago, we had a fire. A lot of damage happened from that fire. We did some fundraising on Faithify, and our insurance helped out a bit, so we were able to make a number of repairs. However, we were unable to fund some other needed repairs. They just kind of fell to the wayside because we just couldn't afford it. And it's gotten to a point where some things really need to be done for safety issues and for accessibility issues. So if I could show you here, this is the ground floor back door, and that is the second story back door. We had stairs, a roofed stair and decking area that allowed people to have a secondary exit from the building, most especially from the second floor. We have been without that for 5 years because where the fire had damaged it, we had to tear it down. And we haven't been able to raise enough funds to replace it. We also had some mortar damage. So I don't know if you can see, but when I run my finger here, let's see. I don't know if you can see the dust falling as I run my finger across this. I'm getting dust on my mask in the process. The mortar was damaged too in some places, so we need to replace that. And as you can see, there are still gaps where the decking had been connected to the building. If you look up there, there's another gap. You can see it, and it runs all the way up. So we desperately need to replace that roof decking and stairs so that we have a safe secondary exit from upstairs, because heaven forbid there be another fire. Another thing that we need is some accessibility additions. Let's see if I can get this over here. It's hard to do this backwards. This is the gate. It is put together with somebody threw this piece in the trash, and we said, hey, we need some gate, and we threw it together. Same with this. I don't know if you can see, this is bungeed on. Because there are no stairs out the back door, there's about a 4-foot drop there. We can't lock the inside of the gate. So what we had was a gate. It was destroyed by a vandal because we were unable to lock it. And we had the same thing happen out back at the very back end of the fencing. We need to have the gating replaced. We need to have lightweight vinyl fencing gates put in so that it's easy for someone with mobility issues or with a wheelchair to be able to open it and close it, while at the same time being strong and secure, so that we can lock it from the inside once we have stairs out back. A reason why we want to do this is one of many. We have a whole slew of trees here that are fruit-bearing trees. We installed, you can see this little guy here, a whole bunch of fruit trees. We have an urban orchard here, and this year was the first year where we had a nice substantial little harvest. Our little trees are starting to become real productive. We also have a permaculture garden bed here. We've hosted a number of gardening workshops and sustainability education workshops here in the past, as well as celebrations and spiritual events out back. But the biggest issue is that this ground is unsafe for anybody with mobility issues, honestly. So I'm going to put my foot in a hole and see if you can see it. It's hard to tell if you can see it. That is a hole. This ground here is uneven. And the vandal damage was such that we had to basically close off the back gate, which means anybody who comes in a van, anybody who is mobility challenged enough that they must regularly use a wheelchair and ride in a van to arrive at a location, they can't come in here. They cannot. So between that side gate and the back gate, they can't get into our outdoor meeting and workshop areas. One of the things that we want to do is we want to be able to host some more educational events. We want to put in some raised beds and some vertical gardening elements, especially along the fencing. You can see here some of the gardening areas that we could utilize. But the biggest thing that we need to add in the way of an accessibility element is a wheelchair ramp. See if I can get up front for you. The only way that people can get in right now is through the front door and the side door, which involves going up steps. But a fellow with Faith in Action, he's been volunteering with them for 15 years, Stephen Zoller, has volunteered to build us a wheelchair ramp and has put forward an expert estimate of $1,200 for that. So if we can get a wheelchair ramp put there, they can come right in that front door. It's lovely, nice and wide, so they can get right in there to our main meeting area. And estimates for the mortar repair and the new decking and stairs runs at around $7,000. About $800 for the vinyl gates, and another $500 for concrete paver squares and sand, so we can create level areas and get a delivery of dirt to fill in the holes, so that we can make it easier for people with mobility issues to participate in our events and to attend our fellowship meetings, so that we can be a more inclusive congregation and continue to do our many outreach efforts. Thank you so much. We hope you can help.